Welcome to a webinar event brought to you by HCL Software. Today, we're sharing a very exciting topic with you, really talking about the adoption of new technology and how that can deliver immediate ROI and deliver a basis for long-term digital transformation in energy and utilities. Before we get started, let me share a couple of really interesting data points with you that has come from a joint research study that we did with Forrester recently. In a study of IT and business leaders, what we found was 80% of the organizations are prioritizing customer engagement and innovation using mobile access to their services. Also, 77% of the people surveyed, both business and IT, said the low code will help to contribute to delivering their outcomes faster. Here's today's agenda. My name's Andrew Manby. I head up product management for HCL Digital Solutions, and I'm joined by Prakash Menon, Energy and Utility Industry Principal at HCL. Today's agenda will cover multiple facets of how an energy utility business can use low code to transform their business. Now, we also have two case studies that I'll be sharing with you, as well as Prakash will be sharing his unique insight around low code and mobile innovation in energy utilities, and also providing a maturity model to show you what is best practices in the industry. So with that, over to you, Prakash.
Thank you, Andrew. I'm very happy to be here introducing the low code and its adoption in the utility industry. At HCL, we've been working with utilities globally for about 3 decades. And through such engagements, we are learning the need for solutions and technologies that addresses some of the problems that you might be facing today, which are the increasing regulations and need to be aligned with compliance, especially in the health and safety area. We're seeing problems related to aging infrastructure and mature workforce and bringing in younger workforce who needs better technology and real-time feed of data and insights. In all, the need for mobile-based technology or mobile technology-based solution has come about as the most sought-after technology adoption to deliver value to the utility industry. Some of the components that we'd like to address in today's discussions are the solutions that enable the technologies that the utilities have already implemented. Many of the utility clients whom we work with have advanced technologies that manage their enterprise, their customer, and their operational needs. Some of them have SAP and Oracle to run their back office, front office, or the customer engagement. They do have more advanced systems. We have numerically controlled systems, SCADA, and other operating technologies that run operations. When it comes to customer engagement, the basic necessity of the customer is to look at their account, pay their bills, stop and start services. Similarly, when it comes to operations, it's about assets and inventory and be able to see and work in the field safely. So what we are seeing is that whether it's a customer or your employee or your partners, they're all having a better experience that they get in accessing systems in a day-to-day life as a consumer. And their expectations from the utility, whether they be a customer or a partner or an employee, they are expecting similar experience or very like experience in doing the day-to-day job. So let's address what is low code and mobile innovation do to this industry. Having said that, utility industry have been in the leading edge of technologies related to systems that manage customer or operations or the grid or water system. The more and more we're seeing, the need have been in the engagement and how we engage your customer, how does your employees' health and safety is taken care while they are in the field operating equipments or maintaining equipments to provide reliable service to their customers. Hence, there needs to be a more user-friendly and more easy to use systems rather than these technologies that are built for running large enterprises. So I'll move to the next slide, and Andrew will take you to the further solutions of the low code.
So thank you, Prakash. So I've got two case studies to share with you today, which are, I think, both ends of the spectrum. The first is the Vermont Electric Power Company. It's the nation's first transmission-only utility that started back in 1956. And after a lengthy evaluation process, they actually selected Volta-MX as part of their digital transformation. Now, with this solution, they essentially brought a platform into play because they wanted to be able to redevelop and digitize all of their operational processes, both for their desktop employees and also for the mobile workers who are out there in the field in the trucks themselves. What was really important to them was to have a single solution with no additional software that enabled them to integrate with their various heterogeneous systems and also 20 years worth of historical data, as well as being able to respond faster to their health and safety and compliance reporting needs. So let me share with you some of the ideas of some of the applications. Now, some of them are desktop applications and some of them are native mobile apps riding around with the employees in the trucks themselves. And in many cases, they've seen an ROI for every single one of these applications in less than a year. So essentially for them, these applications cover a multitude of different solutions, whether it's fleet management or performing safety audits. They're integrating both their operational systems, complex weather data, additional computational software with MATLAB, as well as integrating all that information with a geographical context with their ArcGIS system. And, you know, they haven't stopped here. There are two things that really sort of impressed me. One of which is, like many organizations, they needed to create a COVID compliance reporting app for their HR team. And, you know, the development team of 2 developers took the set of requirements and built a solution you can see on the right-hand side in 55 hours and got it deployed. And obviously that was a big boost to making sure that everyone was healthy and safe. The next area, which I think is really outstanding, is this sort of construction mat tracking system. So they realized when they went out into the field that they needed to protect the environment. Now, they worked with a local vendor to ensure that these mats could be deployed and recalled after the period of time they were using them in the field to get over environmental sensitive areas. Now, they've been so successful with this, they're now offering this same app and this service to other utility services that need this same type of capability. And lastly, you know, where is all this going for them? They're busy working on an integrated field service application that combines many of these capabilities into a single app, as well as actually providing real-time notifications to crews. It's really impressive. So my second example here, from an organization standpoint, is 100 times larger. And this organization operates in nearly 70 countries worldwide. Now, what they were trying to do, similar to the last example, is to partner with someone to establish what they call a digital factory. They wanted to put a platform in there that really provided a basis for their digital and IoT application deployment. So essentially, the goals were a single platform for multiple user experiences, no matter where you were on whatever device. They wanted to reduce the development time to launch new applications worldwide, as well as they want to make sure, as you can imagine, in a multi-diverse services and energy delivery system here, that they could embrace the growing number of smart devices and instrumented equipment that they had. And lastly, they wanted to make sure that their business and IT teams could work together to collaboratively deliver on new projects and also reuse the wisdom of many other project teams that came before them in building some of their new apps. So here's some examples of some of the apps they've built. Like many organizations, you know, what they actually enjoy is really the acceleration and the agility and the velocity of what they're doing. So they can simply deliver applications in weeks and months and not years. Some of the applications they've deployed so far, like many organizations, they need to make their HR processes and internal business processes self-service. So an employee self-service app was one of the first parts. One of the cool things about them as an organization is that they created their own ride-sharing app. You know, in concept, think Uber, but think what they were providing is an application for their internally provided electric vehicles. So if you're an employee, or you're a contractor, and you wanted to use a ride-sharing app during the weekday, maybe the evenings, or maybe even the weekends, they provided an application, that service for you. And you know what? It also helps you intelligently park your cars as well. The other two apps that they have, one is a consumer app. So if you're a home consumer, so you can see exactly what your home consumption of electricity is. So you can monitor on a daily basis and also see what your bill is likely to be. And lastly, they also created a smart charging app to make it easier for people to determine exactly where the charging stations were around a number of different individual vehicles. So lots of very innovative ideas. I'm just showing you the tip of the iceberg of what's possible. Now I'm going to hand over to Prakash, who's going to take you through his maturity model and best practices. Prakash?
Thank you, Andrew. As you've seen the various use cases or functionalities that this platform is able to deliver, you must be thinking, where are we or where are you as a company? Many of the utilities have struggled to understand the need and the necessity for a mobile platform and to deliver mobile applications. So we try to put this matrix together so that you can easily plot yourself on a maturity model. Are we a legacy, or do we have standardized processes or standardized using mobile technology, or you are optimized your work in field services using mobile technology, or you're fully digital? If you are in the optimized state, you have capabilities that are dynamically optimizing your workforce allocation, your scheduling, your dispatching, and various other things, while that helps you become a paperless organization. Now, as we move towards the left, right, there are utilities today that are paper-based, or there are utilities that are automated and yet that are paper-based. Now, you can see by each one of these maturity state, you will find your efficiency gains and cost reduction opportunities. As Andrew stated earlier, a technology like this ensures ROI and delivers early benefit. So your benefit realization is much faster. I'll hand it back to Andrew, who can take to the next slide.
Thank you, Prakash. So let me just summarize what we heard here today from a low-code perspective. You know, some of the key drivers for bringing low-code into an organization is really about that digital transformation, as Prakash has been talking about. Some important statistics, you know, from the same survey, which I mentioned earlier, is, you know, 68% of those surveys said low-code is one of the top 3 IT priorities. And, you know, as I've mentioned as well, you get the idea that decision makers think the low code will help to improve their solution delivery. And also 70% of those that were surveyed said the multi-experience capabilities helped them ensure that they were able to reach all of their constituents through their various experiences, whether it's through a kiosk, through it's a mobile app, or through a web. So in many ways, if you can imagine it, you can build it in Voltamex. And really, for an organization, that translates into reducing operational costs, increasing employee and customer satisfaction, improving flexibility to change your business requirements, and also reducing that dreaded IT backlog. Now, let me just sort of make it clear that, you know, if you're in a regulated industry, you want to have the choice of making sure that either you can deploy these solutions in the cloud or on-premise. And with Voltamex, you can do both. And many organizations, as you've heard from Prakash and myself, the common threads about building those unique user experiences having a strong security model and being able to integrate and automate all of those back-end systems, no matter how heterogeneous they are or what the state of the legacy systems are, is really, really important. And maybe you're actually listening to this webinar thinking to yourself, this is all great, but I'm not in energy and utilities, I'm in a different industry. Well, we have many examples that unfortunately we can't get to today. But if you're in manufacturing and you want to do a health and safety or audit or inspection app, we can help you. Maybe you're in another industry with a field service, application is important. Maybe you're in food services or retail and you're looking to build an application. Please give us a shout because we probably have a case study, an example of what we've done for customers elsewhere inside other industries too. So here's how you can learn more. So why don't you contact us and we can offer you a free trial or schedule a demo. Just simply scan this QR code and we're available to answer your questions. Thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed this webinar, and I want to thank Prakash for his unique insight and participation today. Thanks, Prakash.
Thank you. Thank you.